Hello and welcome to Chip Advisor. Yes, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Phil. I'm here with Lewis. How are you, Lewis?
I am very well, thank you, Phil.
Good. And I'm here with Mike. You good, Mike?
How now, brown cow? Yes, very good, very good. Yourself?
I'm okay. You're still going with that.
Yeah. People are stopping and shouting at me in the streets. It's catching on fast.
The listeners are shouting. I can hear them.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's here. How are you, Harry?
I am all right. I'm just wondering where How Now Brown Cow comes from.
I've absolutely no idea, but I'm running with it.
Okay, because it sort of has no relevance to food or anything
No,
like
well,
that.
I suppose it's beef.
Well,
milk.
yes. No, yeah, no, absolutely.
How now, brown cow? Dead.
Well, you know where milk
Oh.
comes from now, Mike. So that's exciting.
Well milked and dead.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Okay.
Blimey, that's a light-hearted start to the evening.
You having a good week, Mike?
Oh dear, it's not.
Shout out to the
half term,
vegans.
is it?
Shout out to the vegans. It's half term, isn't it? Wow, we were. Yeah, go to work for a break.
Okay. So some exciting news. We've branched out onto the Instagram. The same handle, I believe the word is called, which is Chip Advisor Pod. As
The fact
we've
that
got
we're
on
of an
Twitter.
age where we don't really know what handle means. Handle to us is something you find on a door. Surely we're too old for Instagram.
Well, this is handle. It's a different handle. Different
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah.
You get the idea. So yeah, we're on Instagram. Started that page up like yesterday or something.
Well, I imagine
And
it's caught on like wildfire, isn't it?
Wildfire had a discussion with a delicatessen in Leicester, more specifically in Kibworth in Leicestershire,
Shout out to the Kibworth Massive.
and was chatting to them about quiche. After the quiche episode, it was still very much undecided whether crustless quiche had a pastry base. And at least according to the deli in Kibworth, who seem like lovely people, it does not have a base.
Who are these people?
Love
And
this.
in their words, it's more like a frittata than a quiche.
Oh,
There we go. But the deli Kibworth on the Instagram, they believe that is the case.
is that the name? The deli in Kibworth?
The deli Kibworth, yep. It's a
That's
local family-run deli. They do breakfast, lunch, and takeaway. The best homemade cakes in Leicester.
In a deli?
Yeah, Leicestershire. Yeah. They do look good, actually.
Surely get cakes from a bakery.
They look really good. They do some lovely individual quiches. Not
Do
that
they?
we're
I'm
getting
not
no
sure
commission.
Not sure I trust their views on quiche.
But
Well, let's not do them down. There could be a potential sponsor.
Oh yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, so we're
very
very
true.
much.
On which I'm happy to retract my thoughts. And, any baked goods that want to be sent our way would be delighted to receive them.
Yes, indeed.
interestingly, one of our first followers was a German bakery called Rathaus der Pizza in Aachen.
What now?
actually
Rathouse Dead Pizza.
Der Pizza, Rathaus the Pizza, in Aachen, where I have been on a school trip and accidentally bought women's clothing.
Oh.
It's a crazy world we live in. And they've posted up a picture of two burgers next to each other in a large bun. Now, Mike, I know you're a big fan of this.
Oh, I am. Yeah, the side by side double burger. If you're gonna
Yeah.
have a double burger, why squeeze that into one bun? Why not spread it out across two?
And you can fit it into your mouth.
Yeah, it's good. It's strong.
Yeah. So, Rathaus der Pizza, thanks for following us. So
This
yeah,
makes
we're on.
makes a lovely change up from our previous podcast, the sister podcast to this, which is called Fantasy Threesome, and the followers we used to get on social media for that were far from the delicatessence of this world.
Not a very good grade, I would suggest.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
each to their own. Each to their own. You know, who am I to
Mind
judge?
boggles.
So now you can send in your questions on the Twitter or Instagram. You can even email chipadvisorpod@gmail.com if
Oh
you
my.
really have a story to tell. But
PO
we've got
box.
lots of. Well, no PO box yet, but
Okay.
you know, all in
I
due
mean,
time.
I think the story we really need to hear is what item of women's clothing did you buy? Skirt or
Oh,
blouse?
Well, it
Twin
it,
set?
yeah, it was actually it was one of those. I've done this before on a family holiday where I had my spending money, which on this occasion was £10, and I spent it all on one item and then immediately regretted it, but didn't want to go back because I didn't know how to explain in a different language how
Also,
to
they
return it.
don't do returns on French knickers.
It
I thought he was in Germany.
yeah, I was, Mike. You
Okay.
didn't think it through.
It's
Later,
a shame. It's a shame. Yeah. So what was it you bought?
Yeah, come on.
It was a Joe Bloggs top, and I at this point had no branded clothing. I rarely do now, actually, and I was so excited that I could have a piece of branded clothing that I spent all my spending money on this Joe Bloggs top. And as soon as I got out of the shop, I realised it had shoulder pads, and it was actually a blouse.
Oh no.
But so I'd spent all my spending money, and that was it. Just frittered away. It was
I
a
once
huge
bought
disappointment.
a hat that I would say is fairly unisex.
It
And
wasn't. I was there.
You refused to walk around France with me when we were on holiday that year because you said I'd bought a woman's hat.
You
Which
just
is a bit rich, given you're out there buying shoulder padded blouses.
it was probably a similar age as well that happened. Yeah, probably 1998,
The
99, something like
hypocrisy
that.
of it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to unpack
You had
our childhood.
you had bought your hat from a women's clothing shop. You went in
Yeah,
there with mum
hats
and our
are
sister.
unisex, aren't they?
What
Hats
sort
are
of hat was
unisex.
it?
It was a woolly hat. It was a bubble hat.
It wasn't. Was it? It was more of a bucket hat, wasn't it?
No, it was a bubble hat with a rainbow pattern.
Well,
Huh.
well, there we go.
And
These
in this month of Pride, Phil, I'd be very careful where you go next.
as in which country to buy women's clothing?
I still, now's not the time. We need therapy, but I still, feel a little bruised by that whole experience of you refusing to walk around French towns with me just because I'm wearing a so-called woman's hat.
The irony is, I would quite like the hat that you bought these days. That
Mm.
fits with my fashion. So
I was ahead of my time.
strange world. So, this week we're talking about pasta, and that is because and this is just a theory, Lewis, but I'm starting to think that Lewis is positioning himself as the bad boy of the podcast. He firstly he slated his wife's cooking, and now he's insulting one of my fatherland's most popular foods of all time. So, Lewis, you came with some strong opinions on WhatsApp. So, talk us through your hatred of pasta.
Okay. So, back in the early 90s, when I felt like in our household, we were branching out into new forms of cuisine, the occasional curry, maybe a Chinese, maybe even a pizza. And we were enjoying this. And then pasta arrived, and it felt like it snuck in under the radar. There were all these good things coming in, and then pasta arrived, and it was like, oh, do we have to accept this as a good thing just because it's arrived from the continent? Let's be honest, pasta's just a rubbish potato.
Wow.
It's
That
just
is
a rubbish
outrageous.
potato. It's the most overrated, boring food in existence.
But you I mean, pasta didn't arrive in the 90s.
I mean, it certainly did. I mean, I'm going to double down on that. Nobody had. You did not have pasta in your house before the 90s.
I certainly
Really?
did.
What? No.
My-
No.
My
way.
dad, someone told my dad in about 1988 that he looked like Robert De Niro, and he went through a infamous.
Does look like Robert De Niro.
He does look like Robert De Niro. We went through a pasta phase, and that we had it every Saturday night for
Where
many.
were you buying
many
it from? Were you
weeks.
making it? Because pasta couldn't be bought in shops.
Of course
At
it
that
could. Have you
stage.
ever been to the
No.
Co-op in Fordingbridge? You can buy anything in there.
Oh,
I've,
the 90s. I didn't.
I once made my own pasta on a television show.
Was it
Yes,
in the
you did.
1990s?
It wasn't in the 1990s, no, but on my, well, I'll say, poorly judged episode of Come Dine With Me that I appeared on, I made my own pasta.
Yep. How did that go?
Well, it ended up in the bin, unfortunately. I made it using a clothes dryer. I hung it on a clothes dryer, but it didn't dry quite as I needed it to, and it all started congealing. So in the end, I went shop bought, but I dyed it the colours of the Italian flag.
It's a lovely touch.
You say
When
it was
you-
a poorly judged episode. I mean, it was poorly judged to make pasta on the episode, or the whole episode as
It was poorly judged. So that was a lack of judgment on my part to make my own
Right,
pasta. I should have just
right.
gone shop bought and coloured it.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
the scores that I've got, there's that quite famous meme, isn't there, of the guy that says, "Well, Angela," or whatever her name was, "I hope you're proud of yourself. Get out of my house." And I felt like doing that on mine, lads, because I was harshly done by. I felt one woman said it was the worst spaghetti bolognese she'd ever tried. Now, let me tell you.
that feels really degrading. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure there's ever been a good spaghetti bolognese.
Oh my
worst
goodness!
one.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
I was going to say that Lewis, or we'll start calling him Wolf now from Gladiators, because he was and they did try to shoehorn the evil storyline into Wolf, didn't they? Every week, Ulrika and the other chap.
Fash.
Yeah, John Fash.
Fash, that was it. Yeah, Awuga. Yeah. So every bolognese that Lewis has ever had has been disgusting. So
Absolutely.
I'm wondering, Lewis, whether, and this, I am not having a dig at your wife, but I'm wondering whether you're measuring the pasta on stuff that your wife has made, because you told us she's not very good at cooking. Have you tried it from elsewhere?
I have tried it from elsewhere, and I will double down on the fact that any time I've been served a pasta dish, the best thing about it has always been the garlic bread on the side.
Yeah, you see, this is interesting. There's that routine. I think it's the comedian Sean Walsh that does a routine about soup, and he talks about the fact that actually what he really likes about soup is the bread and butter. Like that's he works it all down, and eventually he comes to the conclusion that actually doesn't like soup at all. He likes the excuse to have bread and butter. And I think for me, pasta is the excuse to have either Parmesan, as we seem to have to call it these days,
Is
or
that what
garlic
you're
bread.
going with? Is it?
Whenever I'm in Pizza Express, I always do say, "Oh, sorry, do you have any Parmesan?"
why are you saying it like that for?
Oh, is that not the way to say it? Parmesan?
Parmesan.
Well, yeah, you call
yeah,
it Parmesan.
Parmigiano.
Yeah, Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmesan. It's very Shaka Khan,
No,
isn't
don't
it?
do that. Don't
No,
do that.
okay.
There'd be a copyright infringement on this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we are on we're on the YouTube as well. Gosh, it's been a busy week.
Honestly, we're everywhere.
Busy week. We're on the YouTube. Just search for Chip
My golly,
Advisor.
check out Bebo and MySpace. Will be there as well.
But everything on YouTube is completely unedited, which does make you question how what you're listening to now has actually been edited. But it would have been a little bit.
So I'd just like to say that I fall down on the side of Lewis. That actually I don't like pasta. I like Parmesan and I like garlic bread. I don't like pasta.
Absolutely, I agree with you that whether it be Parmesan or however Mike wants to say it, any form of cheese grated on top is equally as good as the garlic bread, but better than all the rest of the meal.
I don't want to quote Gino D'Acampo, but
this is what is wrong with this country.
I'm furious.
Oh wow!
I can't
then
believe you're
make a
jumping
case-
on this.
Well,
Michael,
Make a case of the defence, Phil.
I mean, obviously the Italian heritage skipped you and just jumped straight to me, both in
Well.
looks and taste. I can't believe you would say this as someone with such a Roman nose.
Thank you. I do like garlic bread. Is that Italian?
Not
I
really.
love pizza. Love pizza. But I'm not fond of pasta.
My wife, she likes lasagna and she likes spaghetti, but she doesn't like any other type of pasta. which
Oh.
is like when my children say, "Oh no, I've had curry, I don't like it." When there's a myriad of curries, they're all
Mm.
very different.
Well, it's a bit like that. But it's a bit like them saying, well, actually, it's the opposite, really, isn't it, Phil? It's like them saying, I like korma and I like jalfrezi, but I don't like any other curries because I've tried them. It's the exact opposite of what you actually said.
No, I
Truth be
don't
told.
believe that. Don't believe that to be true. The joy of pasta is its flexibility. It takes on flavors from elsewhere and
That's it. Or
gives you.
just to the flavors, just off it.
No, they do take it on if you cook it properly. If you
Yeah.
cook the pasta into the sauce. I'm predicting, and this is no insult to whoever cooked your meals, Lewis, but I'm predicting that if they did a spaghetti bolognese, they cooked the spaghetti, probably didn't salt the water, but that's fine. And then they drained it all out, and then they put the spaghetti on the plate, and then they maybe put a little dollop of the bolognese on top. Is that what they did? Or did they mix the pasta in with the sauce?
I mean, I felt like I had the capability of doing the mixing myself on the plate, and it made little difference to the final product.
Yeah, but it would. This is it. This is it. You're thinking too simplistically. It would absorb the flavors if it's cooked in
No,
the sauce.
But what you've done there is basically you've just done what my digestive system would do with it on the plate. I
Yeah,
don't
but-
need that going on.
Your digestive system isn't tasting. You've not
Oh,
thought it
uh,
through.
Yeah, He's got you cornered, Lewis. He's got you cornered.
I am neither Italian nor a student. I have no need for pasta.
Unbelievable.
I think this is a classic case of your mum was given some pasta and she's thinking, what the heck is this? This is some sort of foreign item. I am going to boil the heck out of this for at least half an hour just to make
Yes.
sure it's cooked because I don't trust this. And so your first experience of pasta was, as you know, practically a mushed up semolina. So that spoilt it for you.
Wow.
I mean, I could say everybody else in my house eats it. It's cooked. It's cooked in our house on a regular basis. I think maybe because it involves also the job I hate the most in the kitchen, which is grating cheese. So the kids make pasta. They can
What?
make it for themselves, and they say, "Will you grate the cheese for me?" Oh, grating
That-
cheese is the worst job.
Oh, must be a tough
Is
gig in your house, mate.
oh,
It's grating some cheese is the worst job.
I'll do the bins. I'm not great.
Wow.
Oh, it's almost like you've never had to cut up grapes.
Oh,
Oh god.
well, or you've never had to cut up.
We were
Or
crazy.
you've never
we were
had to cut
crazy
up
in the
grapes.
80s.
Yeah, or cut up grapes after someone on social media has told you that you're trying to kill your children because you haven't cut up the
Yes.
grapes.
Do not send grapes
and
into
please
your
beware
food
of
if
cutting
you're
in the
not
right direction. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
That's true. That's true. They do need to be cut in the right direction. I have a couple of my biggest concern actually is with spaghetti. That's the one that really gets me because you've got to do the twirly around the fork thing. But before
Easy.
you even get to that, easy. I'm Italian. But easy. I'm an Italian. But before you even get to that, you've got to try and cook the blooming spaghetti. Now, why has nobody invented a spaghetti cooker? Because you stand it up in the pan, you take it out of the packet, you stand it up in the pan in the boiling water, and I have to just wait. It's melting a bit more. Wait. Oh, my hands are starting to scald.
It's not melting.
Wait. Spin it round. Wait. Oh, my hand is now on fire. Let go.
You are a
What?
clown.
Why am I a clown?
Do you not just snap it and throw it in? That's what I do when I'm full.
Oh my
Lewis,
goodness.
Creepers.
What are we working
You
with
just
here?
snap it and throw it in.
So, but no, when you get the spaghetti
Yeah.
and you put it in the pan, it's like you've got a superpower because this rigid spaghetti, you push it down, it's like you've got some sort of Jedi mind trick.
Superpower I need, mate,
Yeah.
is stronger hands.
Well, what you don't do, and here's a top tip for you, Mike,
Mm.
or life hack, as it probably
yes.
is all these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Don't stick your hand in the boiling water.
Yeah.
It's not
Move
going
away
into the
from.
water.
Well, why is your hand getting hot then?
The steam coming off the top. It's boiling water.
We've established earlier in the episodes I think it was on the custard cream episode, that I have very strong hands. But even without very strong hands, you just apply a little force vertically. I mean, sometimes I like to twist the spaghetti as I lower it and
Yeah.
then let it go out as a beautiful spiral. So it's like an upside down umbrella.
So
And then just tap
okay.
it round the edges with my hands.
you know
Even
when
if
that
you,
old
if you want
guy,
a wooden spoon.
you know when that old guy invented the wind-up radio and kept going on the Big Breakfast talking about it. I feel Trevor Bayliss. I feel like I could be the Trevor Bayliss of my generation. What I'm
Old.
thinking is, no, well, yes, but also inventive. So what I'm thinking is, you get, like the spaghetti holders where you can hold spaghetti and it stands up in it like a jar. Yeah,
A spaghetti
Yeah.
jar.
spaghetti
Yeah.
jar.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
One of those, but with a little button on it, and you open up the button, it goes like in a Star Wars door, and then you put the spaghetti in it, push the button again, and then it shuts. Fill it up with water, and then shut the door. Then push the button, and it boils somehow, a bit like a kettle. It's a bit like cooking spaghetti in a kettle, and then you could call it the spaghetto. Anyway, then you cook it, and then when the timer goes off, you push the button, and this time rather than a door, like a sieve type thing emerges where the door would be, and then the water comes out, and then you've got drained cooked spaghetti, and nobody's got their hands steamed.
You've got you're
If you can get
struggling with
omelette
one of-
makers, waffle makers, donut makers, toasted sandwich makers, why can you not get a spaghetti cooker?
Well, you can get hard plastic long containers that you put spaghetti in, fill them with water, and stick them in the microwave for simpletons like you. You
Sorry, say
can
that
get
again,
them.
please.
So they're a long container, and
Mhm.
then you put the spaghetti in, put the water in, and at the top they've got like a lid, but it's got small holes in. So once you put it in the microwave for like 10 minutes or something absurd, and then you drain it through the holes,
Mhm.
and then you've got spaghetti. So if you really want to, if you're struggling with the basic concept of boiling, then you can try that. That
Okay.
would work. The only issue I have with spaghetti is sometimes I know you can use a colander, but spaghetti can go through the colander. So sometimes I use a saucepan lid to try and pour the water out, but keep the spaghetti in. Pour it out.
Yeah, that's what I
pour-
do.
It's a balancing act, and obviously
Yeah.
sometimes if you're doing it over the sink, you end up with a couple of strands in the washing up, which you find later, which are saturated, like Lewis's mum's cooked them or something.
Oh, do you
You
know,
know-
I hate finding things in my sink plug hole. Tea bags. My wife is the worst for it. Herbal blooming tea bags.
Tea bags in the
Hate it.
sink.
Yeah, because she empties a cup before she puts it in the dishwasher, and just out goes the liquid. She leaves the tea bag there, carries on with her day.
Why is she not
That's what I
taking the
do.
tea bag out before she started drinking her tea?
Oh, she's a bagging kind of girl.
Oh, if
And
it's herbal,
That is
yeah,
that is not a
do-
euphemism.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I don't like people who also have a tea bag sort of what's it called? Like something they put the tea bags on. I've lost for words.
like a small plate.
Small plate that they put
In
tea
this-
bags
in this-
on.
Yeah, in the shape of a teapot.
Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
they put your tea bags on there, and then at the end of the day, by the time it's attracted 700 flies, you then put them in the bin. Just put them straight in the bin.
Yeah, or depending how much tea you're drinking, it could be the leaning tower of tea bags, couldn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Bad news, guys.
Oh crikey!
I've had a little look around, and you can buy on eBay right now the Express pasta or vegetable cooker. It's an energy-saving cooking jug with thermal lid. It's exactly what I just invented. Darn it!
Well, I could save you some time and effort, Mike. What you need to
Yeah.
do is knock the spaghetti on the head, put a potato in the microwave,
Yeah.
make yourself a lovely little jacket potato, and put your bolognese on top of that. Job
Yeah,
done.
no,
It's just got much better.
Bolognese doesn't work with a potato.
Ah, mate.
ooh, does it
Ah,
not?
mate, I mean, you've got no confidence in saying that, Phil. You know you're wrong.
But what I don't understand is pasta doesn't really taste of anything. Pasta is just the vehicle in which you have
That's
the
why
sauce.
it's so offensive. It's so boringly inoffensive that it angers me.
You're
Okay, so
mad.
Well, I mean,
Let's imagine Go on, Harry. Go on, Harry.
Oh, well, we were just learning a lot about Lewis here, really. He's
Mm.
offended by inoffensive things.
Yeah.
His worst thing in the whole world, I mean,
Worst
apart
thing
from
in
the
the
crust on the
kitchen?
quiche, is a cheese grater and being asked by his
Oh,
children to grate cheese.
absolutely.
I mean,
Shred
that's
your own fingers.
incredible.
Shred
Grate your own cheese. Absolutely.
Okay, so we talk about them being kind of the vehicle for the meal, right? A stable,
Yeah.
or indeed a staple. So not a stable. That was where
Sta-
Duke's from, wasn't it, Vicar Lewis? Anyway, the vehicle. So I think there are three kind of fairly bland vehicles that you then pep up with toppings and such like, and all of them work very nicely with butter. They are your pasta, your potato, and your bread. So if we're having a league table of those three, how are you sorting them, Lewis?
Oh, bread.
Obviously, pasta's at the bottom.
Bread, potato, pasta.
Okay, Phil.
Easy.
Oh, potatoes are at the bottom for me, and then probably bread, pasta, potatoes.
Oh, so you prefer the garlic bread to the pasta then?
No, I like pizza.
Oh, okay, fine. And Harry?
Well, I ate nothing but pasta when I was at university. So, I mean, I wouldn't be here today. I certainly wouldn't be the size I am today if I hadn't eaten all that pasta. I mean, so that's got to be the top. I mean, there's a lot of different breads now, isn't there?
A lot of different breads.
A lot of different flavored breads. I mean, I'm sure Lewis finds them all newfangled and, diabolical as well.
No,
Putting
love
olive
a
bread.
fancy bread. Love a fancy bread.
Oh! You like your bread, but not your pasta.
Sourdough,
taggy
not even
Italian.
sour.
Sourdough
Ridiculous.
is not even sour. Good. Okay.
Gents, we've got a quiz to
Oh,
do.
thank goodness.
Yeah, we've got a quiz, and we've got lots of questions that have been sent in. So I thought we'd better hurry up with our quiz. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. There we go. Now, I was going to do a sudden death style thing like last time, and then I remembered how much you all ruined it. So we're not going to do that because your knowledge of quiche toppings was minimal. So I am going to describe a type of pasta. This is going to be like Lewis's worst nightmare because it'll be in slow motion. As I read out the description of the pasta, if you think you know what it is, call out your name. You will only get one guess per type of pasta.
Oh my goodness,
Okay.
I'm not sure how many types of pasta I know, but we can give it a go.
Well, I've tried to keep it simple for you.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 9 types of pasta I've gone for. So let's go for the first one. This pasta originated in Genoa. Oh, no one's gone in on that. Okay. Its name literally translates to little tongues.
Hold on. Were you not going to introduce some kind of tension bed music to this?
Oh, yeah, I have actually. Hang on.
I just feel it's lacking a certain something,
Okay,
certain frisson.
here we go. Oh, okay. Its
Right.
name literally translates to little tongues.
Mike,
Michael.
the one that reads a bit like Congachichil.
Do you mean conchiglia?
Yes, that.
No.
Oh,
That's-
balls.
So you're out.
Okay.
It is a long pasta.
Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
Tagliatelle.
It is not tagliatelle, I'm afraid.
Oh, I thought it was tagliatelle.
Harry, you may listen to the 2
Yeah, keep
remaining
going.
clues.
Yeah.
It is wider and flatter than spaghetti. And the first part of its name is the same as Alan Partridge's assistant.
Okay. I'm quite annoyed now because I was actually going to say this two questions ago, but linguine.
Linguine, and you've got a point on the board. Congratulations. Well done. Okay, the next one. You're all back in. This pasta is particularly popular in Sicily. This pasta is sometimes seen as a big brother to another pasta. This
Mike.
pasta... Oh, he's gone early again.
Tagliatelle.
No, it's not tagliatelle, I'm
Ay,
afraid. You're out the
ay.
game. This pasta has ridges down its length, and its ends are cut in a square.
Oh, Harry.
Yes.
No, I didn't mean that. Tortellini.
No, not tortellini, I'm afraid.
Oh.
This pasta is tubular. Lewis, you have 3 more clues. The first half of this word is the same as the capital city of Latvia.
Is it?
And the second half of the word is the surname of a recently banned footballer. We're recording this at the end of March 2023.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it.
Oh, that's annoying because I know that as well.
Lewis, I will have to give you a 5-second timer.
Ravioli?
No, it's not ravioli, I'm afraid. It's an
there's
open
ravioli
goal.
Ivan Tony. I thought it was.
Rigatoni, isn't it?
Rigatoni, surely.
Rigatoni, yes, yes. So you're all back in. Okay. There is a glass case in the Bologna Chamber of Commerce holding a solid gold replica of this pasta.
Mike.
You'll never
say-
learn.
Please say tagliatelle.
Farfalle!
It's not farfalle, no. It is a long pasta.
Harry,
Yes.
what if it's in Bologna?
Yes.
That's where bolognese sauce comes from. So I'm going to actually say spaghetti.
It's not spaghetti.
Oh.
Lewis,
Oh, great logic. Great
Yeah.
workings.
Okay, Lewis, it has a rough texture. When purchased dried, it looks like someone has screwed up shredded paper into balls. It is made of long, flat ribbons. Lewis, I mean, if you haven't got this, I do worry about you.
I'll give you a clue. Mike's answered it every time apart from this round.
Tagliatelle?
Yes, he's on the board.
Oh.
Congratulations. It was tagliatelle. Right. I've got to try and remember which ones we've done. Right. Okay, next up. It looks like a traditional fairground ride. Its name means spindle.
Dear.
Traditionally, it is spun by pressing and rolling a small rod over thin strips of pasta, then winding them round in a corkscrew shape. It is one of the most common pastas purchased in the UK.
Is it?
Yes. When you...
Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
Fusili.
Yes, Fusili, Lewis.
Oh.
He's on a roll now.
Yeah,
He's on
yeah,
a
he's
roll.
gonna-
There we
I'm
go.
gonna win this quiz.
If we let a pasta hater win this,
Yeah.
I'll be heartbroken. Okay, next up. You bake this pasta.
Mike.
Oh, okay.
Lasagna.
I'm afraid not.
Oh.
The translation of this pasta's name is large reeds. This pasta is a type of lasagna.
Oh, well, that's harsh.
You stuff this pasta with spinach.
Yeah, what is
Ooh,
that?
Yeah.
Right,
Did-
Harry.
Oh, yes, Harry.
Rigatoni.
No.
No,
We
we've-
had rigatoni.
Oh, have we? Oh, I don't know.
Imagine.
Somehow
imagine.
still got an open goal.
I'm in
Lewis.
trouble here. I'm not sure
Lewis,
I know any other types of
imagine,
pasta.
imagine some Coke
excuse
all by
me.
itself. Some
Excuse
Coke all
me.
by itself.
Some Coke all by itself.
Strangely, my last clue is it sounds like you are kind of lonely.
Well, yeah.
Lewis, any guesses?
No.
He's timed out. It was cannelloni.
Cannelloni.
Oh,
Oh.
cannelloni.
Oh, I'm kind of lonely. Cannelloni. Okay, the next one. This,
What are the scores?
Lewis, it's got 2. You've got 1. Mike keeps guessing early and has got none.
Gonna
Oh.
get it this time.
Okay,
This
What, 'cause
pasta
you're-
has
because you're
another-
googling them.
no.
No.
This pasta in the Emilia-Romagna region is actually called strichetti.
Mike,
Oh, I can't believe you've done this again, Mike.
they've all got cleft palates. They're at spaghetti.
It's not right. It's not correct.
Spaghetti.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes the cut. I don't know. Look, I apologise if that's in any way offensive.
I really think you have been particularly nasty on this one.
Particularly.
I really think you.
Sorry, gang. Sorry.
So, you're wrong, Mike. You're out again.
Okay.
This pasta is formed from a rectangle and is ruffled at both ends.
Lewis,
Yes, Lewis.
is it the bow tie one that I don't know the name of?
I'm afraid that won't do me as an answer.
Farfalle? Something like that?
Farfalle. Lewis is going to win
Farfalle.
this. This is ridiculous.
There you go.
So, with 3 pastas to go, Lewis has a 2 pasta lead.
Okay, I think I know one more pasta. So
Okay. Okay, this next pasta is up. You're all back in. In my opinion, it is one of the worst pasta shapes.
Lewis,
Yes, Lewis.
penne.
No, that is my
Ah.
second worst pasta shape. It is a curved pasta.
Mike.
Michael.
Conchicachelchi.
Conchiglie.
Yes.
Yes, you're off the mark.
Get in there.
So, that makes it 3-1-1. Okay, conchiglie, which translates to seashell. Okay, the first half of this word in Italian means to gobble up.
Lewis,
Lewis, go for it.
penne.
It's not penne.
Ah,
You're out. Okay, so it is 2 to 3 centimeters wide.
Mike.
Yes.
Ravioli.
No, it's not ravioli. Harry, it has fluted edges when it is made fresh and flat edges when it is made dry. It comes from Tuscany, and the first half of the word sounds a bit like the word for father.
What word for
Um,
father?
A word for father.
Dad.
Nope.
Oh,
More continental than that.
right. Okay.
Okay. you need this-
Okay. Oh, father. Okay.
Thierry Henry. Does that
Really?
help?
What?
Ooh, Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I've got it. Pappardelle.
Yes,
Very
it's very
good.
good. Very good.
They're the next sponsors of our episode, aren't they? Pappardelle.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and the last one.
Well, hold on.
This-
So this is tense now. Harry can get a draw now.
Harry could
Yeah.
get a draw.
Okay.
You could block Lewis, but no, that would make Lewis win.
Okay.
The best we can
Get on
hope
with
for
it.
here is a draw. This is one of the few pasta shapes with a
Lewis.
certain date. Lewis.
penne.
Oh, it is penne.
Oh, he's
Oh,
bided his time.
he's played the numbers there.
Yeah.
Oh
Honestly.
no.
Oh, it had to come up at some point.
Oh, Lewis has won the quiz he didn't want to win. Congratulations, Lewis.
There's
What's
not a
his
prize, is
prize?
Uh, prizes.
Lifetime supply.
Dear, that is a shame, but that was the quiz. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. There we go. Who's put this on loop? This will be edited out of the audio.
Oh, hello.
That is the last time. So
Oh, okay.
we have got, before we get to the questions about pasta, Michael, last time on the podcast, you were
Yes.
asking for pretentious food,
Yes.
and we've had an entry
Go on.
from Nick. He was
Hi,
on a
Nick.
trip. He was on a trip to Paris
Okay.
on the Eurostar,
Oh yes. Ooh la la.
and he received a medallion of chicken, served with sautéed new potatoes, seasonal roasted root vegetables. Now, to me,
Yeah.
not that pretentious, apart from medallions.
Well, seasonal root vegetable. Oh, just veg. Just mixed veg. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I only realised the other day that root vegetables, you're eating the root. That's why they're called that.
Oh.
Harry, you're a gardener. I mean, Mike, you sound surprised. I feel stupid,
Yeah. No, I'm surprised.
but that
I mean, the, clu-
doesn't validate me really. Harry?
the clue's in the title, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I
Root
felt.
vegetables, your carrots, your parsnips, your beetroot.
God, how many can you name?
Radish,
Mhm.
Scorzonera.
Oh
Oh,
wow. Okay.
well,
Yeah.
hello.
He's,
Which is a
taking,
good one.
he's flexing his muscles now.
What's it called? What's it called?
A Scorzonera. It's a sort of Russian. It's fairly disgusting.
Ah.
Turnip,
I was going to say turnip. Swede.
Swede.
Parsnip.
I said parsnip, didn't I?
Oh, did you? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that one that looks a bit odd in the supermarket that sometimes you get in a stew medley. It
A
is
sweet
called-
potato.
Celeriac is exactly it.
The brain, one that looks
Exactly
like
it.
brains.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. See, so sweet potato is you don't really class as a root vegetable, though
Oh.
it is like
Oh.
like potato. I mean, it
Okay.
is a root vegetable, but it's not in the same way.
Yucca?
Yucca is a house plant.
It's a tree.
No, but it's the roots. You can eat the roots, can't you?
Can you?
I mean, possibly. I mean, I'll
Oh.
leave you to do that.
Oh,
There was once when I was at first school, there was a vicar who came and did a school assembly, and to make some sort of point about Jesus, ate a daffodil. And well, rumor has it, as a result, he left very shortly after, under a bit of a cloud. And I do believe the daffodil assembly had some part to play in that. I think he was going through a bit of a breakdown at the time, but he ate a daffodil. So it's certainly conceivable that you could eat a yucca.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
You can
feel-
eat
it feels-
yucca. I've googled it. You definitely can.
Are you thinking of a yam?
No. I know it. I know what you're saying about yam, but I'm talking about a yucca.
He knows his yucca from his yam.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I
I
think-
mean, would you like a boring gardening section of the podcast?
Yes,
Well,
please.
I-
I'll try and
see-
find some
please.
music
we?
for you. Let's go with Handel again.
Yeah. So a root vegetable, I mean, let's take your classic carrot, is actually a biennial plant, which means it lives for 2 years. You pull up a carrot after 1 year, though, because basically the plant stores up all the energy in the root in the first year for enable it to flower in the second year. But we as humans take advantage of that by pulling it up at its midway point, and then eat the carrot, parsnip, yucca,
Really?
whatever you like. So yeah, it's a 2-year life cycle which we cruelly cut in
Oh,
half.
that's not very nice, is it?
So
Yeah,
would
we
the
thought
carrot
we-
have nice petals and a flower on the top, or?
Yeah, yes, it has a very nice sort of lace cap, white, delicate flower, as one might see at the Chelsea Flower Show. Although, according to Mike, not so much this year.
Not
I
enough
can't-
flowers.
Was that,
not enough
was that
flowers
on
at
air
the-
or off air? I can't remember. But
No,
yeah,
that was
he
off air. But
couldn't-
yeah, off air we were discussing prior to the show, back in the green room.
yeah.
We were discussing the lack of flowers at Chelsea Flower Show this year. Disappointed me. Too much foliage, not enough flower.
Yeah.
I read a story about a lady who lost her ring in the garden, and then she planted some carrots, and what happened was she then picked the carrots, and the carrots had grown directly through the inside of her ring, and when she pulled up the carrot, it had the ring stuck onto the carrot, and it kind of
What, like a
grown
little
round
orange
the ring.
finger?
Yeah,
Come on.
Amazing.
Google it. It happened. Google it. Old lady. Don't Google old lady.
Yeah,
I've got
I
into
think
trouble
I've
for
heard
that
that.
before. Okay.
There we go. Harry's heard of it.
Oh.
So
I think if I could just go back to the menu, that was it. Nick,
it was Nick.
yeah, very kindly sent in. I think the ambiguity around the vegetables for me is part of the pretentiousness. If you go to Harvester, you
Yeah.
will know that your steak is served with chips, peas, and onion rings. Yeah, not
onion-
a selection of vegetables. I
Yeah.
just tell me if I'm gonna have my medallion of chicken. What's happened to the rest of the chicken, by the way? If I'm gonna have my medallion of chicken, then just tell me, am I having cauliflower, broccoli, peas? What's happening? Give me the full lowdown.
These are all
But you
good
should
points.
know what time of year it is, and
Oh.
realise that peas aren't growing at this time of year, so they're not going to be part of my vegetable medley.
So
God,
what would be in our Harry? What would be in our seasonal
we're just
medley at
about
the
to hit.
moment?
We're just entering June as we record. So, yeah, go on.
Well,
What's
yeah.
season?
Well, I mean, if you've got early peas coming, I mean, it's quite early for that. You might have some spinach.
Did think it was early for peas, Mike. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing, really.
I mean,
sorry.
they're only just shooting out the ground at the moment. But I mean, if you've put them in early in your polytunnel, they may be coming up now.
How's your
Early-
polytunnel
early
going, Mike?
carrots.
My polytunnel. All's
Yep.
well with my polytunnel. Thank you very much.
Good. Sorry, Harry. Carry on.
No, I can't really think. Really, you put me on the spot if you upset me. But I did have a moment when Mike said, "Oh, when I go to the harvester and have my steak,
Yes.
and it comes with chips." I thought Wolf, or Lewis as we call him, was going to pipe up and say, "Well, I don't actually like chips because they're so boring and don't taste of anything, do they?" And it's just a barrier to get to the steak. But he didn't say that, which was a relief because I
Yeah.
might have actually had to throw down my headset and walk off.
Throw down.
As it-
the
as it-
headset, walk
throw
round
it
the
down.
corner to my
Yeah.
house.
Stop
Oh,
down
yeah.
the road. Don't mention where you live, Lewis. We get into trouble when you do that.
But you two
Um,
are just you two. It's lovely actually because there's a long river between the four of us. But actually, myself and Phil are just around the corner from one another, and you two are just around the corner from one another as well.
What
yeah.
river runs between us, Mike?
Well, I can't say that; it would give it away. Where our location, and the last thing we need is people knocking on the door and shouting, "How now, brown cow?" Yeah, I wouldn't like to say, but yeah, river.
A river. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Right. So I've got some listener questions, which is very exciting. They're all pasta based, so probably go to Lewis first for the answers.
Yeah.
Alex asked, "What's the best pasta shape as a sauce vessel? Surely it has to be conchiglie." I disagree wholeheartedly with Alex.
As a sauce vessel.
I mean, surely he wants a macaroni or a spirale.
Oh, never really thought about it. I mean, just spills out of all of it, doesn't it?
Because of the cup shape, I'm presuming the shell shape. Of
Yeah.
the Conchita Martinez or whatever it's called. What's it called?
She represented Austria at the Eurovision Song Contest. One with like a phoenix, fly like a phoenix.
Rise,
she
rise
also-
like a Felix.
She
Rise
also,
like a phoenix.
she was also a Spanish tennis player who I think won Wimbledon once, but I can't actually bring that to mind now. But yeah, no. So there's it's like a cup, isn't it? So the sauce is being held in there.
Yes.
I mean, ravioli's a pretty good vessel, I'd say.
Well, no,
Well,
it's,
yeah,
it's
no,
more of a
yeah.
container, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where does the line between a vessel and a container get drawn? Surely the lid.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The problem with conchiglie, and I will keep saying it like that, is that the pasta is too thick for me. You've got it's a small pasta shape, but the thickness is too much.
Okay.
Too much for me. I like a thinner pasta.
It can also get suction to your tongue, I find.
Yes, like a Roundtree's fruit gum can get
Yeah.
stuck to the top of your roof of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, Roundtree Street Gums, notorious.
I used to
I
store
like
them-
the Oh, sorry.
No, I just used I used to store fruit gums in my socks as a child, and then go and play football, and then just occasionally get one out my socks because I didn't have pockets in my shorts.
Whereabouts
So
in your socks? Not underneath, I hope. Not at
they
the
go-
bottom.
They'd go anywhere,
Sweaty.
really.
Sweaty Betty.
I didn't want to have to share my fruit gums at the age of, I don't know, 6, 7, whatever, 30.
So you
And
would you would subtly release them one at a time mid-game, would you?
No, so I would have spent my 20p pocket money on Roundtree's fruit gums,
Sure.
because they would last longer than pastels or other sweets, Smarties or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then
Shrewd.
you then when you purchase them, you decant them down one of your socks, maybe 2 if you're trying to make it
Decanted
more
them
comfortable.
rather than putting just in, the wrapper that they're in, you've taken them out of the wrapper and popped them into your socks.
Oh yeah, they're all loose. They're all loose in my socks.
This is absolute
Jimmy.
lunacy.
And then you'd go play football, go out on BMX or whatever. And
Oh,
then
so
when
cool.
you wanted a snack,
BMX.
I
Never
yeah,
heard of BMX in your life.
I had a hand-me-down BMX. It was yellow. It had yellow
Did you?
tires and everything.
Was
yeah.
it a BMX?
Oh, probably. Yeah, probably not.
Probably a BNX.
Yeah, more
Probably a
likely.
knockoff
Made
job, wasn't it?
Meta biscuits, BNs.
Mm.
The but yeah, I used to have them down my socks, and then just whenever I needed a boost of energy, I'd like rub my leg and then kind of as if I'd injured my ankle or something, and then just yawn and place a fruit gum in, and I'd suck on that for a good 10 minutes. I can make a fruit gum last probably longer than any of you and anyone
All right,
listening.
well,
That's a
sounds like a
challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
yeah.
pod. Next pod.
It'll be
I
a
mean,
quiet one.
Yeah. I mean, you've been foolish there, really, because really you should have popped it in your shoulder pad, shouldn't you? And you wouldn't have had the.
Valid point. Sorry, Harry. You were
Yes.
I completely interrupted you and started talking about fruit gums. You were talking about the conchiglie.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it being a vessel.
just the suction aspect of it. But I say that was the best vessel for pasta. I like
That's
this spirally one. I don't know what it's
Oh,
called.
Spirali.
It's tubular and spiral at the same time.
I have a packet of them in my pantry right now.
Yeah. But that's not that. I mean, that's not answering the question
No,
because
as
that
a
doesn't
vessel.
hold it. But
True.
it feels nice in the mouth, I find.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And conchiglie is a good vessel, but it's not good pasta. You don't need vessels. For you don't need your pasta to be a vessel. Get a cup. That's what you need for a vessel. Right. Next question. Let's go with this one from Danny. Does the pasta you eat change the way a meal tastes? For example, if you have bolognese or spaghetti or have it with penne, Lewis's favorite, does it taste different? Because she thinks it does. Obviously, it does. It definitely does. The ratios are out, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You don't want a penne bolognese.
No, you don't want to penny anything, do you? Really?
But I mean, if needs must, it's not going
Yeah.
to be. It's still
It's a
going
poor
to taste
man's-
the same, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
because it's so bland.
It was a poor man's macaroni.
I mean, look, we're quite a bit into this podcast now,
Mm.
but it would have been lovely at the start if you'd said, "Lewis, pasta, a penne for your thoughts." But
It would have
never
been.
mind.
Well, never
Yeah.
mind.
Never mind. Do you want to start again?
Yeah, come on.
Well, not for the third time. But you're right.
We did have to, dear listener, start the podcast again earlier on when I just was really struggling to unmute my microphone, and was just sort of shouting into a void here.
Good story.
but
You were
Good
also
story.
controversially making a shepherd's pie in an air fryer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we make everything in the air
Which
fryer now. We have to justify the sheer expense involved with it. Every day. Oh, we'll make that in the air fryer. Oh, what did you do tonight? Oh, I cooked something in the air fryer. Why? Because it cost us an absolute fortune.
How does that possibly work? And going into a question we had based on last week's quiche episode, why is a shepherd's pie allowed to be called a pie if Phil doesn't like a slab of puff pastry on top of a casserole being called a pie?
Was that a question that came in? Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Well, I'll get onto the naming in a minute. And
it's from Jackie.
good evening to you. Good morning. Good afternoon, depending on which time you're listening, Jackie. I believe that it was fried off in the in the wok, actually, in this case, and then baked in the air fryer.
So you did the layering from above in the air fryer. Mm.
Yes. Yes. That's how it's been done. We've got these
Okay.
lovely little dishes that are just the right size for the. We've got a dual one. I don't like to keep on about it, but both
A dual
both-
air fryer.
Yeah, I don't like to brag, but both bays have got their own little Pyrex container that goes in them.
So it sounds like you're not even using the bay. You're having to buy accessories now.
Well, for those circumstances, yeah. Otherwise, it'd be absolute carnage to clean it out.
Well, that's what I was envisaging.
Oh yeah, no, we've not layered it up in the actual bays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. So, anyway, the reason I believe that if you got offered, Lewis, a penne bolognese or a spaghetti bolognese, surely you're going spaghetti. If you had to,
I don't know. In my mind, all I'm trying to think is which pasta's easier to wash.
So
Why are you,
what?
why are you washing your pasta?
Because I want to get the sauce off it. Because I'll eat the sauce. Can I remove this? Can I scrape the sauce from?
No,
pasta.
come on, Lewis.
Oh,
You're not-
absolutely.
If you had the
That-
if you had the
oh, no,
choice
no.
of just bolognese with no pasta or pasta bolognese, you're not telling me. I mean, I've been with you right throughout this episode, but you're not telling me that you're going to shun the pasta in favor of just meat and
Of
tomatoes.
course
Surely.
I am.
Oh my good grief.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
Madness.
can you imagine if you had a piece of garlic bread, just a bit of
Actually, yeah.
bolognese on a bit of garlic bread? You tell me that's not better.
Well, I'd have both.
It's not better.
You're wrong.
yeah, it's not better.
You know you're wrong.
Saying that if I go for a curry, I now don't have rice. I just get a naan, which
There you go.
is
There you
similar.
go.
But in Italian food, no, you don't do that, Lewis. Just no.
Well, what is your
next question.
what is your
Go on.
opinion on rice, Lewis?
Oh,
You
yeah.
hate that as well, I imagine.
No, I like rice.
Oh, well,
Unbelievable.
Oh,
I mean,
what?
please talk us through the different
Okay.
flavour of
Oh,
rice to
Oh.
I
pasta.
love Asian food. I
Oh.
love Asian food.
No. Rice is its own component on the side with lots of different things around it. I can choose to mix things in. I've not had it all thrown together and mixed into one.
Oh, so
mess.
so it's the mixing of the pasta and the sauce.
There's
that
a
you
bit
find
of that. I
offensive.
could tolerate the pasta if I'm choosing what different things to mix it with at different times.
I find it easier using my hands, but you may use whatever implements you prefer.
How strange.
Well,
So maybe
I,
we're boiling down into the real situation here is that you don't like people over preparing your food. You like to do some of the work yourself.
Yeah, if you like, Phil.
oh,
Okay, good. Scott asks, "What shape of pasta came first?" Mike, you'll say something confidently that probably won't be true, but it will be an answer.
100%. It was lasagna.
Actually, it genuinely may have been.
It was because that's the biggest bit. They didn't get around to cutting it up, and then they thought, "Oh, we could cut this up."
But
No,
They just used to make sheets, a bit like slices of bread. So you should just cut it in sheets, and then they started getting a bit fancy down and making their penne and farfalle, and congela quiche, and
she won Wimbledon as well.
she did, she did. Yeah, so it was lasagna sheets first.
it was actually a testaroli, which and I won't pronounce that again for you, but it was testaroli. Oh, I've done it again without even realizing, and that was like miniature lasagna sheets.
Yeah, well, there you go then.
Was it though? Because I mean, I did a little bit of research for the pod,
Oh, thank goodness.
and
Well, I didn't need to. I don't even need to
Yeah.
be here.
No, absolutely not, because you've kind of just made that up. And Marco Polo discovered pasta. Pasta actually originates from China.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
Noodles.
I
Yeah.
was funny you say that. I was just.
Oh
about
yeah,
to
go
ask that-
on,
I
noodles,
was
Lewis.
just
Come
about
on,
to ask
come on,
that
hit us with
question.
it.
No, I'm very interested. I
sorry.
like noodles. but
Oh, wow.
What's the difference?
You-
Why do
Well,
I
you-
like noodles and not pasta? What's the
We-
difference? Why
Let's
do noodles
unpack
taste
this.
better? I'm not
This is-
entirely sure how they're made, what the process is how it
Have
Have you
differs
tried?
between
Have you
li-
tried linguine? Because that's a thinner spaghetti.
I'm sure I have, but just for you, Phil, I'll try it this week and I'll report
Please.
back.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Anyway, so
Um,
that's where it comes from.
Well, talking
And
of
then
origins,
yeah, Marco Polo discovered it.
No,
And
I
he
think
named-
Marco Polo's being credited. I think that's just
Marco
a
Polo
rumour.
discovered the mint.
He did not, and
No?
what is little known is in fact, and actually, Lewis, you can answer this question. What was Marco Polo's wife called?
Volkswagen.
No,
I
You don't know the answer?
I don't know this, Harry.
I'll give you a clue. It's the only pasta that you know.
Penne?
Yes,
Penne Polo?
Marco Polo's wife was called Penne, and
This is very exciting.
Yeah,
Harry, to be honest, I could have just sat back and listened. But with this and Gardener's Corner, it's very exciting. Tell me more.
yeah. So I wrote all this down. So because he had invented it, he invented some of the different names for the different pastas that came around. So I'm just gonna look at my list. Yeah, Penne, obviously named after his wife. They had their on board Marco Polo ship, which yes, they had a viola player called Ray, okay, and that
Really?
became ravioli, right? I mean, and over time, I mean, you're going to pour scorn on me now, but over time, language changes and adapts, and Ray the viola player's favorite pasta became ravioli.
That
No,
feels like,
that's nonsense. That is rubbish.
that feels like you've been sold a line.
Ray the viola player became ravioli.
Yeah,
Famous
you
Italian
don't
name,
believe
Ray.
me. Yeah, Ray. Well, I've done
Ray the
research.
viola player. That is.
Yes, absolutely.
Go on then.
The chap that did the rigging on his ship. was
Here we
called
go,
Tony.
rigatoni.
Yes, see,
Oh.
this is where all the names came from.
I don't think
Ridiculous.
this is true. I
Lynn?
believe you.
Lynn had
Yeah,
a quinine.
she-
had a quinine
she
addiction.
had-
She drank gin and tonic. Right. Her favourite was linguine.
I was so sure you were going to say
Oh
Lynn had a magic lamp. And when she rubbed it, there's a genie.
Yeah. Can't think of any others. Well. Lily that did the fuses for the cannons. That was Fusily. But as I say, it changes. It adapts. It changes. You see.
Well, it's been
And,
an
yeah.
educational piece as well, hasn't it?
It has. It has.
I just need to go back to the
Leone did the cannons.
We
On
used to
her
go to
own.
school. Used to go to school with quite a pretty girl called Leonie. Do you remember, Harry?
Leone.
Do I?
She was in our
Leone?
media class. Leonie.
Oh, she was very short.
Yes, but quite cute.
Yeah. Did you ever get anywhere with her, Mike?
Obviously not,
Obviously
Harry.
not.
Obviously not. But
Yeah.
that's just a little flashback for me there.
Yeah. Did you
I'll
organise?
give her a
party?
Facebook stalk shortly. So
I've
just
got more
while we're talking about
questions.
origins, I know
Okay,
you've
yeah.
got questions, but I want to answer one that you've already asked.
I
And-
did feel this may become a megapod.
No,
Um,
you just
It's a
haven't.
big
You haven't.
subject.
A question was posed.
Yeah.
How can we get away with a shepherd's or cottage pie being called
A pie.
such? So, would you like the genuine answer?
And
And it is a genuine answer. It's none of this hogwash that we've just been given from Harry. This is the real deal. Okay. So, a pie was like a meat-based filling and then a pastry topping, but the farmers back in the day couldn't afford the means of pastry, but potatoes were quite easy to come by, so they used to use sliced potatoes in cottage pie, and they would represent roof tiles. Hence, it was called cottage pie. And shepherd's pie was similarly formed thereafter because of the lamb variation. But cottage pie was the closest they could get to a pie. They couldn't afford pastry.
They could have just put a sheet of lasagna on top. It's all
Could
the
have
same, isn't it?
Could have done. So there you go.
Thanks, Michael.
No, you're welcome.
I've got a genuine question.
Yes.
Why? This is serious. Before you all start rolling your eyes, pasta and spaghetti, right?
Yep.
Spaghetti is pasta, but it gets
Yes.
its own sort of special designation, whereas pasta, all the different pastas that we've just been talking about, all comes under the label pasta. And I didn't. That's just an interesting question. I don't know where that comes from.
Well, there's 3 types of pasta. There's three different types. I believe you
Yeah.
have your pasta's shapes, your spaghettis, which is
Yeah.
your long pastas, and then your lasagnas.
Oh, okay.
Your lasagnas, which are flat pasta, which is either rolled or kept in its flat state. I believe that's the case. I've said it confidently enough that you sound
It's
like you
absolutely
believe me.
fine. I believe you absolutely.
Finally, before we move on from this segment, I can confirm Leonie is now Leonie Lee and married to a man of Oriental descent.
Oh,
So
gosh.
there you go. And she looks very happy
Good.
with 2 beautiful children and a trampoline. I'm very happy with my lot, lads. I'll be honest. Very happy, very happily married, just to be clear, because I know my wife listens to this.
Good.
Very, very happy. She's no Leonie. I know Leonie is no Claire. That's what I meant. Oh, balls. I knew what I meant.
Oh yeah, we know what you meant.
Oh, no.
Oh dear, oh dear. Where's the here we go.
I
Yeah.
really think you have been particularly nasty on this one.
So it's two episodes in a row in a row
Oh.
that someone's insulted their wife. So I love my wife, and I'm sure Harry loves his. Right.
Absolutely.
So next question from James: are spaghetti hoops closer to baked beans than pasta?
Oh, they're horrible.
Yes, they are, because I like spaghetti hoops.
Oh, do you?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is what is wrong with this country.
Love a
This-
spaghetti hoop.
But it's pre-mixed, Lewis. It's pre-mixed. Someone's done it for you.
It's not.
You can't have your controlling attitude towards it.
It's not pasta. As I'm sure we'll come. Any you put spaghetti hoops on toast. Anything on toast is a good thing. And spaghetti hoops on toast. Big fan. Grated cheese, as long as someone else grates it for me.
Yeah, of course.
I just can't be bothered.
The issue is that I personally believed you didn't like pasta because your original consuming of pasta was done of a pasta that was overcooked and overboiled and had gone soggy. Yet you'd like spaghetti hoops, which have got stabilizers and all sorts of stuff in.
Ooh.
You gotta. That's the stuff that makes it taste good.
Oh gosh, but yeah, that they are a pasta, James, but they're frowned upon where my family comes from. Not Mike's.
The best of pasta, as I call them.
Oh,
Right.
dear. There's quite a lot of, our forefathers would be livid.
They'd
Be turning in their graves.
They would be. They'd be very upset. My boss he likes tinned macaroni cheese. Nah, not having that. Not having that at all. On toast, which is even weirder. In
That
my
is
eyes.
weird.
Yeah. David asks, should you be frowned upon if you eat uncooked pasta? Lewis?
Yeah.
I would say yes, although I have witnessed my son do it.
Spaghetti, is it? Does he pretend he's smoking?
you could possibly be correct there, Phil.
We could have a little stubby with a penny, couldn't you?
I was going to say, surely it's penny again.
Yeah.
No, that's too thick. The spaghetti, you can just about, using the temperature of your saliva, you can just about break it down.
But have you,
I've seen it's very. So we're talking crunchy spaghetti there. I've seen quite a lot on the socials lately. Obviously, not anything as hip and trendy as Instagram, but I've seen videos of people frying pasta and it being very, very popular.
Not a fan.
Have you tried it?
Well, it just seems a bit like
do you
sacrilege.
want to put it in the air fryer, Mike,
do
and
that, yeah.
let us?
Do you know what
let us
I might
know?
do, lads? I'll come back to you on that.
Okay. Well,
But with me air frying my pasta and Phil sucking on a fruit gum, it's going to be quite the podcast next time around.
Are you pre-cooking the pasta and then frying it?
Yes,
You're
I
not
believe
frying
so. A bit
dried
like
pasta.
No, I think you parboil. It's a bit like
Al
a bit like
dente.
refried rice. Yeah.
Al
I have-
dente.
I have seen or at least heard of in trendy bars now, where we're trying to move away, obviously, from plastic straws and to use different types of people using different pasta-based straws.
No,
Good
come
idea.
on,
Good
really?
idea. That.
I've heard of it. I can't admit to trying it as of yet, but apparently it's a thing.
Just long
Wow.
rigatoni. That's
Okay.
all it is.
Wow.
Can't do it with hot drinks though, because it'd cook.
Yeah, that's very true.
Do you use a straw of a hot drink, Harry? You're nuts. I mean, it's bad enough when you've just got a little opening in a takeaway cup and you sip a scalding hot coffee through it, and because you've sucked, you burn the roof of your mouth off. But a straw on a hot drink?
Mm.
Well, yeah, it could do. I mean, I said it for the purposes of a joke, really, but I
Oh,
mean, isn't
sorry.
that...
Sorry, I'm very tense because of
Yeah.
Lewis's behaviour tonight.
Yeah, ridiculous, unacceptable behaviour. The problem with eating uncooked pasta is it expands in your stomach, and you could get poorly.
Oh,
Dear.
that's
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, you'd have to eat quite a lot of it, but I mean, you still
Surely
could.
spaghetti, you'd be all right though.
Well, a couple of strands, I suppose, but yeah, it's still going to expand.
What's a couple of strands between friends?
Go careful out there. Go careful out there.
Please do. Next question.
God,
from
how many
Sarah.
questions have we got? Good
Yeah,
grief.
honestly,
So many
I
listeners.
we should have
Compendium.
we should have just started at questions, and then we could have delved into everything else.
Not
after.
every question is guaranteed to be asked. That's the sort of level this podcast is reaching. Just a few episodes in,
Well,
people are
currently,
going to have to come to terms with the fact that look, we welcome your questions, but we can't guarantee they'll all be answered.
well, at the moment, that's exactly what I have done.
Right.
Due to wanting to hold on to the few listeners we have. So
Okay.
Sarah asks,
Hi, Sarah.
may not even be a listener. Does throwing pasta at the wall tell you anything other than that you've got pasta on your wall? There was a tradition, wasn't there, where you'd throw spaghetti at the wall, and if it stuck, it was cooked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not true, Sarah. It's Michael tell you he once saw our dad throw a plate of
Do you know
bangers
what?
and mash at a wall.
That's exactly where my mind was taking me, Phil. We once sat down. I mean, I would have only been 6 or 7, and my dad had a lot more sausages on his plate than I did, and I kept saying, "Dad, can I have a sausage? Can I have a sausage? Please, can I have a sausage?" And he said, "Fine, have the sausage." Which, fine, pop it on my plate, but he threw it at the wall, which then made it questionable in terms of whether it was edible. Stormed out the house and drove off in his Ford Cortina. We didn't see him again for some time, but
Different
I'm not
days.
sure what that really brings to the pod, but yeah, it's a story that still sticks with me.
Yeah. So
Never did get that sausage.
no, different times.
Hmm.
Different times. James, he's struggling to get a full set of profanities from Sainsbury's alphabetic spaghetti. Could you advise the best brand for expressing pure filth in spaghetti? Just go Heinz. I mean, their brand has a Z in it, so they're bound to, help you out.
What profanities do you have with a Z in it? Jizz.
Oh, Michael,
No.
please.
That's all I've got.
Oh,
I mean,
now I've
family
got
friendly
to now I've got to bleep it, and I can't bleep the YouTube. So sorry, YouTube. YouTube
hold on.
people.
Blame James, whoever it is. I haven't asked about profanities, but if you want an answer,
He hasn't asked what are the profanities. He's asked for a brand. We
oh,
told
right.
him
Well,
Heinz.
you've suggested a Z.
I'm just saying that as they have a Z, they will have
Yeah.
many letters.
They've got
All the
many
letters you need.
Right. Okay.
They are the Scrabble of the tinned pasta
I
world.
know you're playing it cool, but you are now trying to think of another profanity with Z in it, aren't you? All the while.
I'm not because I'm thinking about editing an already very long podcast. Yes, it is edited.
Waz.
Thank you.
Wazza.
I'm gonna keep that one in.
Oh, okay.
That's
think we're
family friendly, surely.
Yeah, we're safe on that. Andy asks, how many different types of pasta are there? And the answer is an awful lot. And you have different variations due to localities in Italy. So it's like 350 or something. But someone will bend a bit of pasta a different way and call it something else. How many different types of bread are there? How many different potatoes are there, Lewis?
Wow, quite a lot. I mean, I feel we go for the gardener's corner for that. I'm sure there's plenty of types of potato.
Well, you got your first earlies, your second earlies, your main crop, your salad, your Jersey Royal. I had some nice. Oh yeah, thank you. I had some nice Jersey Royals the other day. They tasted
Oh.
absolutely delicious.
Oh, the Jersey
Potatoes.
Royals.
Oh, here we go.
I-
Come on,
I-
come on, hit me with it. Hit me with it. Come on.
I used to work in the produce department of Asda. And when the Jersey Royals came in, people used to go insane. Used to be carrying out a tray of them, and people would be taking them before you could even get to the shelves.
Yeah,
Jersey
but
Royals.
they taste. See, the Jersey Royal can only be grown in Jersey, possibly Guernsey. That's a shady area. If they're
Controversial.
not grown in Jersey or Guernsey or any of the Channel Islands, the potato is called international kidney. There you go, a little fact for you.
Wow, this is special. It's so exciting. I knew it'd be exciting having Harry on the podcast, but it's more exciting than I'd imagined. I did
Well,
not know this.
You know,
Potatoes. Surely all potatoes, apart from sweet ones, they all taste the same, don't they?
Sure, there's so
Certainly
many
not.
ways to cook them.
Well, yes, but if you
In terms
you
of the
had to-
breeds,
yeah, the breeds of potatoes, surely.
breeds
can we,
of
can we say
potato,
can
is
we
that
say
correct?
can we say varieties, please?
Oh, we
I don't
can
think we
do.
have breeds of potato.
we can do.
So
Well, you've got your waxy, you've got your floury. Your waxy is good is a salad potato, so you'd maybe cut that into a salad.
Can you
Yeah.
crossbreed them?
Of course, people are doing that all the time.
Hmm.
But yeah, so and your floury potato, your King Edward, that's good for chipping, mashing.
So could you get
Boiling.
a Jersey Edward?
Well, I mean, you could do, but I mean, they're world renowned for growing their early potatoes.
Would it not be called a Jedward?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes, Lewis. Hang on,
Oh,
hang on a
Lewis.
second. I'll try and find something for you.
And you know what would happen? You'd put them in the cupboard, and you'd go to the cupboard the next day, and those big, those curly roots would come out really, really high. Lots of them, like the hair.
Very good. Got it, mate.
No,
Got it. It
yeah,
just felt like
okay.
you worked. You
You've
worked really hard
you've
to get there.
over-egged the pudding there.
Fine.
As
Sometimes
as someone said to Darius on.
I'll
X
just say
Factor.
jizz again.
Oh no! Come on, you're so annoying. The last question we had was from Alex, which we kind of covered. Is it true that Marco Polo stole the secret recipe for noodles from China and called it spaghetti in Italy?
Yes.
It's not true. I don't believe that.
Well,
I've-
people. Marcus has said it is.
well,
Is that his name? Sorry, I beg your
Alex-
pardon. Was it Stephen?
Alex.
Alex. Okay.
yeah. No, I just don't think that that's true. I think Marco Polo's, just getting accused of things here, and he can't stand up for himself. What with being dead quite a while ago.
Quite like 1324.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me. Hang on. How we? If
8th,
that's correct,
8th of January, 1324, possibly 5. Look it up. Just go straight to Wikipedia. That's where I looked.
oh no, but now I have, and I've seen that his wife was called Donata and not Penne.
Oh,
Oh no!
which may put a slight cloud on everything else I said in that small monologue.
I think you're right, gents. It's been a very long pod. Some of us, need to go to bed, and so I will. We'll have to say it's the end here. I think, but don't forget you can follow us on the Instagram, the Twitter at Chip Advisor Pod, and you can now watch us on YouTube unedited,
Wow.
which is Chip Advisor on the YouTube. Have you got anything else to add, Harry?
Don't think so. If you want to cook your pasta slightly al dente, and there's a chap, and he's called something Locatelli. I can't remember what his first name is, and he said you've got that little dark bit that goes through the spaghetti, and that's the soul of the spaghetti right there, and you don't want to cook that out.
Oh, that's really is beautiful. Michael, you got anything as nice as that to add?
I've got like a sign off now. Like my catchphrase. I've got a sign off from it.
What, you've just invented it? Because I've seen you've just been on your phone this whole time, barely.
Oh, I was looking for
concentrating.
swear words with Z in it. If I'm being honest.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's an
very
S.
Craig.
That's a double S,
Craig
isn't it?
Charles.
Could be. I don't know.
Craig
I
Charles
was
shouted
just
out a
gonna
lot
say-
of Robot Wars.
I'll just sign off by saying, "Ciao now, brown cow."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All that build up. What's happened these last 5 minutes, Mike? Lewis, this is the end of your pasta chat. You won't have to talk about it again. Anything you'd like to say?
Pasta It's just a rubbish potato.
It's disappointing to go out on that note. Well, thank you for listening, and please do subscribe and all of that jazz that we're not very good at talking about, and recommend us if you enjoy it, and if you don't, recommend us to your enemies. And have a good week. Take care.
Ciao now, brown cow.